And welcome back, everyone. Welcome back. Ooh, we just had a banger of a PvP between Firefly and Hero, and now we have a PvZ between Creator and Reynor as well. Sorry, I think I said the wrong names. Hero and Firefly, that's it. We had a PvP between Hero and Firefly. Now we're here with Creator and Reynor. And, oh boy, Reynor, of course, he's harnessing his inner Zerg. He's harnessing the dark by putting up the hoodie. You love to see it. Let's go. Again, it looks like he's had a pretty decent showing so far in this group. Was able to bring down players like Firefly and bring down players like a Laser, but now he's up against Creator, one of the best Protosses in South Korea. Oh boy, so this is going to be a spicy matchup, a spicy ZvP, and I'm happy to see that we're able to catch this series as well. Again, despite missing some of the previous matches, as we are loading into game one, going to be taking place on Babylon. Let's go. Let us go. Doomer Reynor, exactly. I mean, we've seen this in WTL. You know, Zerg players really they play at their best when they are in the dark, when they are engulfed in darkness and deny the light. So really, that's going to help him. It's going to help him, Bach. Here we go. Again, we are nearing the end of the broadcast. We only have a couple of matches ahead of us. We have this best of 3, and then we have Firefly versus Clem afterwards. So not too much to go, but quality matches nonetheless. And we are now loading on in and spawning in the bottom right-hand corner of Babylon. We have the Italian Zerg player representing Team Basilisk. It is Reynor. And spawning in the top left-hand corner, we have as opponent, we have the South Korean Protoss player representing Club NV. It is Creator. Here we go. And yeah, it's been a hot minute. Of course, earlier today we were casting Dark versus Estrella. We were casting Classic versus Dark, but this ZvP I'm sure is going to be very different. Dark, of course, is a very stylistic player, very aggressive player as well, constantly in your face. Reynor has definitely marks of that, don't get me wrong, but if you remember in recent times, I think it was around Home Story Cup, Reynor was saying that he was focusing on his macro, he was focusing on some of his late game play, and I wonder how he's going to be approaching Creator. Reynor does have a certain advantage. Creator's playstyle in this matchup, it does remind me a lot of Showtime. I don't think they like purposefully emulate each other or watch each other. They just happen to, you know, end up playing similar to each other, which is really interesting to kind of think about. But yeah, Creator, he's typically a very mid to late game oriented player. He typically goes for these kind of more defensive setups and defensive styles, goes into heavy Immortal and Archon play. I should emphasize as well, though, that what I'm saying applies mainly to larger maps and maps like Near Humanity or Altitude or Ancient Cistern. On a map like Babylon, which is a lot shorter, a lot smaller, I don't know if Creator is really going to embrace that or if he's going to try to mix things up a little bit differently instead. I look forward to it. I do look forward to it. Here we go. As for now, Reynor is going for a hatch gas pull, forced to take the unnatural natural. Wing speed is on the way as we do pull out a gas, and so far everything is looking normal. Everything is looking as it should here for Reynor. As it should. Meanwhile, back at home, Creator is going for a Stargate opener. Likewise, a standard opener from our Protoss player. This should lead into a third base, should lead into a multitude of oracles, and eventually we take up from there. If you're wondering, a big reason as to why this is so standard and so meta is that oracles, they can harass and they can be aggressive across the map. They can keep your opponent honest and keep them busy, but they can also defend very well against Ling counterattacks. And they allow you to establish your third base very easily and without too much issue, as long as you have an oracle back at home. That's why we typically make more than one. We can go double oracle opener, or we can even go up to a triple oracle opener as well. There we go. First one is on the way. Adept shades in between the bases. Going to be, again, keeping an eye on things, making sure that Reynor isn't going for a 2-base all-in. Confirms that there is indeed a third. Likewise, the Ling of Reynor does slip past the defenses, gets an eye on the opener, confirms the Stargate, as well as the starting unit. He does see the Oracle. Sometimes we can see a Void Ray first, or even a Phoenix first, but Reynor at least crosses those off his list, and oh my god! We have that Robo follow-up. Hello, Creator. Hello, Showtime. So we should be seeing a Forge after this. This should be the patented Creator opener where he delays his Twilight Council. There it is, there's that Twilight Council, and I imagine we're going to be seeing a Forge momentarily. But the reason why he gets a faster Robo is typically to get into faster Immortal production as well. But we'll see. We'll see how he does decide to approach this. I don't want to make too many assumptions. But those are just the tendencies that Creator does have, which is a stark contrast to what is typically done. Also bearing in mind as well, with no Forge, with the delayed Forge, this could actually be Glaive Adepts or even a DT opener. Let us see. Not DT, close though. Templar Archives. So we only get the Twilight Council for the tech. This is going to be an offbeat timing. This is going to be an Archon drop. If you can imagine, this is going to be an Archon drop. By the time the Prism gets across the map, this Templar Archives is going to be done. We can warp in High Templar, we can morph them into Archons, and then we can hunt down Overlords. We can look to gain map control. Again, I'll be honest, I don't see any other Korean Protoss do this other than Creator. Not even Nightmare. Nightmare doesn't even... He goes for Archon drops, but he goes for the DT variation, the more standard variation. So yeah, the Templar Archives is now done. High Templar being warped in, and the Archons are soon to be upon us. Oh, we do have a nice catch from Reynor, though. He does come across one of those Archons, and can he get a kill? Up! Oh my god, that was so close. The Archon barely has any shields left. Again, Archons are very fragile units, but Creator barely keeps them alive. Behind this, there's that Immortal production that we were talking about. That's why another reason why we go into faster Robo, then straight into charge. So going back to what we were talking about like this Showtime style of play, Creator, he typically builds up an Archon and an Immortal army, very like kind of a death ball, very ground toss oriented, slowly on 3 bases, eventually 4. Then he can be active on the map. For now, the goal here of these Archons are to keep Reynor busy. Otherwise, Reynor would be able to do whatever he wants. He'd be able to drone and expand and take bases and tech, and you know that's the downside of not making too many Oracles and not going for Blink Stalkers, is you don't really have too much of an active army on the map. So these Archons, they got a lot to do. So we are going to be rotating between the bases. Reynor going straight for a Spire. A bold move here from Reynor, but I love it. Reason why? There are no Phoenixes, no Void Rays. There's no Blink, right? There are no Blink Stalkers to keep up with Mutas. There are Archons, yes, but they're few and far between. And Archons, they're not the most mobile units either. So Mutas could potentially do a lot of damage. But before that happens, here comes Creator. Very strong timing. We have 2 Immortals, 2 Archons for these sentries, and a good chunk of charge lots as well. This is designed to try to punish this 4th base, but Reynor has a lot of roaches. He has queens in position. I do think he has the tools he needs to defend. This Creator, he dives on those roaches immediately. Good force fields, does take down a good number of them, but he's also getting surrounded. Queens are coming in from behind. The Roach Ravager forces are being reinforced as well. We have the defender's advantage. Ravagers are being forced back. Those Immortals are putting in a lot of work. Queens are falling. We're getting into the mineral line. Meanwhile, here as well on the right-hand side, the Ravagers got focused down. A good trade from Creator, but as we can see, no, he's getting economic damage done. I was about to say that he's not really killing too many workers. He's not killing the base. He does get 6 workers. And again, those 2 Immortals. Oh my god. They've been doing so much, but the Archon finally goes down. The Prism taking a lot of hits as well. God, but Creator just doesn't slow down. There's 13 and 15 kills between the 2 of these. My god. 28. I'm sure those are all roaches as well. Now, Reynor will hold. He cleans up the ground army. The Immortals do survive. The hero Immortals, of course, with so much experience under their belts. But now Creator has to relinquish map control. He has to pull back. Behind this, he's working on +1. Blink. 4th base is on the way. I do think that Reynor could maybe deny the 4th. But he's more focused on defending his bases and keeping himself alive. As a result, he backs off. He's going into mutas instead. Making use of that Spire. After all said and done, I do want to say that Reynor is in a bit of a better position. I think the mutas do give him a lot of flexibility. They can shut down the prism. They can get economic damage done. There are cannons on the way. And the mutas barely were not spotted by that zealot. Here we go. The roaches are looking to distract the main army. Meanwhile, here come the mutas into the natural. One cannon is not going to be enough. Probes are going down. But we do lose a muta already. We warp in some stalkers. Yeah, Creator, he doesn't lose too much. He maintains control of his bases. He protects his 4th. And Reynor is doubling down on a Ling Roach Ravager army instead. Here we go. We have Lings moving out towards the right-hand side. We have Roach Ravager towards the left. Mutas are finding some more workers. 10 probes in total. Slowly building up. The Disruptor! No! Ooh. One Disruptor is going to go down for free. A big pick off here for Reynor. Wild's going to be raiding down on the army as well. We do have a surround being set up. Creator is coming in from behind. Good juggling as well, keeping these Immortals alive. At the same time, we do have a Link counterattack, but no, it's being cleaned up by the cannons and the reinforcements. Creator, he is shutting this down. As long as he doesn't lose his Immortals up. Oof. Does take a bow to the face. Does lose one Immortal. Up. But only a singular Immortal. From their Creator, he is able to gain map control, shut this down. He has detection. Oh, the mutas though. Let's not forget about them. As they are still being active. The Nova! Ooh, a massive connection on the Roach Ravager. They do pile down the Prism. The Immortals are exposed. But that Nova was just too much. Creator forcing his way through the Roach Ravager army, getting on top of the base. And Creator is just reinforcing. Warping in more Stalkers, sending everything across the map. Creator, he even comes across the Morphing in Ravagers. Oh, they are not going to finish. Only one does complete. The mutas across the map, they're getting work done. Don't get me wrong. But how do we stop the main army? I don't think we can. We have 11 roaches on the way. Can Reynor survive? Can he buy time? Can he buy enough time? It looks like he may be able to. Reinforcements, they're setting up a surround. Immortals are being exposed. Without a prism, we cannot save the Immortals. And if the Immortals go down, that's going to be it for the Army of Creator. But he's done so much, though. He is doing enough. Yeah, Creator, he barely breaks through. Takes down the Roaches. He's pushing his way into the natural as well. Creator, he's got options. He can go for the natural, or he can go for the 4th. He's going for that 4th base. He doesn't want to overextend. I do think he could have broken the natural base, and that would have been game. But he's... He really is smudging. Oh no. GG, well played. Creator does take game number 1. Oof. Very close fashion. Again, the mutas were a good move from Reynor. But the immortal juggling from... It wasn't just about the mutas, though. If you remember, the mutas were harassing while Reynor committed so hard to a massive Roach Ravager push. And it clearly did fall on its face. The defense of Creator was just a little bit too good, and Reynor overextended. Reynor did overextend when pushing across the map. When attacking that 3rd base, he lost everything. All of his Roaches, all of his Ravagers, and that's when things snowballed out of control. That's when things swayed in favor of Creator. And now Creator is one game away from taking the series. Reynor has to fight back here and now. Oh boy. Here we go. And again, Creator is one of the best Protosses in Korea. I would say he's top 3. He's top 3 alongside Hero and Classic. I do think Hero and Classic overshadow him a little bit, but Creator is no slouch, you know? That's the thing. Even though Hero and Classic have a little bit more star power, Creator is a very powerful and dangerous opponent. And yeah, he has a very unique style as well, which is something that I'm pretty sure Reynor is a little bit familiar with because of Showtime. Like, Showtime does play pretty similarly to Creator, but alas, still has to piece all of that together. And so far, a really strong start for our Korean Protoss. Really strong start. Let's go. And hopefully we get a series. Hopefully we go to the ace match. That's what I want out of this. I'm greedy. I want all the games, Poppy, all the games. But it's not up to me. It's up to the players. And here we go. Spawning in... Oh, actually, spawning in the top left-hand corner of Dragon Scales, we have the Italian Zerg player representing Team Basilisk. It is Reynor. And spawning in the bottom right-hand corner, we have his opponent. We have the South Korean Protoss representing Club NV. It is Creator. Also, I just realized, I just realized that I didn't pay out the predictions for the finals of ESL Asia, just because I was very quickly switching over to Masters Coliseum. So our predictions are now paid out. There you go. Predictions are now paid out. Can't believe it. Most people did bet on Bjorn. How could you, Bobby? How could you? Ay. Shaking my head. Because of course, Dark did come out on top. Behind this, Reynor going for a hatch gas pool. Once again, forced to take the unnatural, natural, and awkward location. But we are on Dragon Scales, a much smaller map, short rush distance. Something like a Roach Queen all-in is not unheard of, and we have seen Reynor go for all-ins many a time on Dragon Scales. But I feel like Creator, he isn't necessarily a greedy player. I feel like he does well against these kind of big all-ins. I think he has a very strong defense. So we'll see if Reynor takes the bait. We saw earlier maybe he's a little bit influenced by the game. Hopefully he's able to maintain his composure. It's very important to be able to do so here in these tournaments. And hopefully he can bring it all together here to bring us to Game 3. I would hope so. I would hope so. There we go. And they say, for now, though, we should be seeing a Stargate opener. Should be seeing a standard opener here from Creator. For now, we haven't thrown down any tech yet. Should be seeing that momentarily. As Creator's just being active with this probe, just getting an eye on things, getting a read on what is going on. And there it is. Not a Stargate, but a Twilight Council. Okay. Now, Creator, what do you have in store for us this time? If he pulls out a gas, this is going to be a Glaive Adept opener. I wouldn't be surprised if he goes for a Dark Shrine opener instead. But if that was the case, we should be seeing a Robo momentarily. And there's that Robo, to be fair. Robo is thrown down. We haven't pulled out of gas yet. And we'll see what the plan is going to be here for Creator. Meanwhile, across the map, he does shade into the main base, just getting an eye on any additional gases that are being taken. And it is going to be Glaive Adepts. We do pull out of gas. Only 2 mining in each gas, guys, so we don't need any more gas than that. Don't need it. And this is going to be 4 gate Glaive Adept. We have 2 gates now, but we should be seeing 2 more. There's that 3rd. And there's that 4th. So Yeah, this is designed to get damage done, of course, at least some damage, but this isn't all in by any means. You do expand behind this. You do take a third base. If we had more gas mining, then I would assume we would go for up to like a 6-gate Glaive Adepts all in, or we would go Glaive Adepts into a Dark Shrine. But again, we haven't really. Actually, no, never mind. We are taking gases here at the natural. Okay, okay. The Overlord does see this, by the way. Does confirm. So we are going to be feeding Reynor some information. But Creator should be looking for that expansion momentarily. Here we go. Creator is going to be moving out. It's going to be saturating his gases here on the low ground. Does pull out of gas in the main base. So it looks like he wants to try to feign some extra aggression, wants to force an overreaction. We do have Spore Crawlers on the way from Reynor. Spore in the natural, Spore at the third. 4 DTs. For those Dark Templar, which don't exist, but, you know, just in case. Spores are now done. Adepts do shade across the map, and they're going to be able to get a couple of these workers. 2 drones do go down. Meanwhile, we do have a warp into the main as well. There are links to meet this. And Creator is going to back off. Does back off for the time being. Third base is thrown down, and Reynor does get eyes on it. So now he knows that, of course, he's not being all in. That it isn't a 2-base all in. And Creator backs off. Backs off, goes back home. He understands that Reynor has defended well enough, and his Adepts just haven't done much for themselves. They get 3 drones, which is okay, but Creator is stuck at home for the most part. Getting into a Robo, getting into Immortals. Oh. Meanwhile, Reynor, remember earlier I was talking about how Reynor, he is not afraid and not, you know, he's not new to anything like a Roach Queen all-in. I think that's what we're getting. We have speed on the way. We have a lot of queens to work with as well. We can go for a queen drop alongside a Roach push. We'll see what we go for, as we are still working on that lair. And we're droning, wheeling +1. Okay, we're macroing. Feels bad, man. Reynor actually cancelled Overlord speed, so we're not going to be committing to it. I got excited. I do think that Reynor was thinking about it, but upon canceling it, of course, he's switching gears, taking his 4th. And I think that's a wise choice, especially because Creator was working on Immortals, and we have a lot of Adepts already. Creator, he's working on a secondary push. He does saturate his third base, but only a little. Only gets 9 workers here as he's going for a big follow-up push with Adepts and Immortals. Here we go. Now, there are no Banelings to defend. Banelings would change the dynamic of this fight. Baneling Nest is about to finish, but mass Adepts have arrived. Oh my god. That is so many. The Immortals as well behind this, and with the help of these Immortals, the Roaches are going to go down one after the other. The Queens as well. And this is snowballing out of control. Creator, he does commit to the shade, heading in between the bases. There are barely any units left. Oh my god, a bit of an overextension. And Immortal goes down. A big loss for Creator. That is a big part of his army. At the same time, Roche is going toe-to-toe here with the Adepts in the main base. But more Adepts are shading in. The Immortal once again goes down. Creator being a little bit wasteful with his Immortals. Both of them could have done so much here in this fight. The workers are still falling, but I'm concerned that Creator hasn't done enough. Yeah, he is going to be cleaned up here. He gets 15 workers, but Reynor, he's still ahead in the worker count. And Creator's transitioning. He's going for his Forge, going for Blink. I do think that he could have won the game here. I do think that he could have straight up killed Reynor if he had just babysat those Immortals and kept them with the main army. That would have been huge. That would have been huge for Creator in this group. But alas, Reynor does hold. And he's in a decent position. You know, he's got his 4th base. He's on 3 base saturation on 67 workers. He's droning. Like, Reynor was not ready for that at all. Like, Reynor, he was caught with his pants down, but there was no punish. The Prism falls as well. Creator, he's falling apart a little bit here. And back at home, this is a late transition. The reason why that was pretty all in out of Creator, and the reason why I say that is because +1 is heavily delayed. Blink also heavily delayed as well. Saturation on the third, the fourth base. It's gonna take a while for Creator to recover. He is moving out across the map. Roach speed is not done. So Creator, he can trade efficiently against this army. More efficiently than Reynor. With Blink, with this one Immortal, yeah, he can actually bust through this. Creator, it looks like he is going to be gaining ground. Hopefully this time he's going to be able to take care of that Immortal a little bit better. He blinks on forward, takes out another wave of Roaches. The boys, they have to be pulled. Wiles are going to miss that Immortal. And Reynor is in a lot of trouble. Oh my god, he almost gets the Immortal. But Creator's able to just barely keep it alive. A couple of Stalkers are going down, but we're able to warp in another wave of reinforcements. Creator, he's expanding behind this. He's working on 2-1. Double upgrades. And so far, Creator, his blinks have been good enough. He's been preserving his units, trading very efficiently. He doesn't break this space, but he at least trades well. Oh, even gets a Ravager. Oh no. Even it gets a Ravager. I'm sure he was hoping to maybe break the hatchery itself and even get more workers. But this is enough to bring Creator back into this. For now. I say for... Wait, did we lose the Immortal? No shot. Okay. As he's being forced back, we're getting into a second robot, getting to a robotics bay for either Colossus or, I imagine, Disruptor production. Up. As the Creator does drop into the main, is looking to distract the main army here of Reynor. Pulls him back. I appreciate the Creator. He's even preserving these two Zealots, trying to gain as much value as he can. And there we go. We have our first Colossus in production. Creator is getting his fourth base up and running. Even though Reynor, he's ahead in supply, bearing in mind that Reynor has inflated supply. Roach Ravager is not really supply efficient. Banelings are, though. That's a lot of Banelings. Oh my god. Without Disruptors, I am concerned. Oh, can he get the base? He does force a cancel. Loses 4 Stalkers for it, but does delay the bases here of Reynor. Prism is going to go down. Oof. Big loss for Creator. And now Reynor's getting ready for a massive Lingbane Roach Ravager push. There are just so many Banelings enough to break the Protoss. Colossus arrives, but I don't think it's going to be enough. As the mineral line goes down, GG gets called, and Reynor will take game number 2, tying up the series 1-1. Oh, we're going to the ace match. We are going all the way. We're going the distance. Let's go. Here we go. And with that, we got what we wanted. We got what we wanted. We're going all the way to game number 3. Boy, and this could go either way here. Royal Blood is going to be the next game. Creator has been doing a great job at being, of course, aggressive and catching Reynor at these offbeat timings. Royal Blood, another small map. Interesting. Vetoes are interesting as well. All the large maps have been vetoed, so just the small ones here. Babylon Dragon Scales into Royal Blood. Creator. I don't imagine he's going to go for another Glaive Adept opener. He may go for DTs or just straight up Stargate opener. I'm feeling Stargate for the ace match. I'm feeling it. We'll see. As we are getting said lobby ready. And hopefully Reynor, he's able to get like, you know, momentum from that win as well. Like he did look like he was smudging a little bit after the loss in game 1, so he's bringing it all back here. Getting into a better mood, listening to that rap music, listening to the playlist that we're listening to, of course. The anime OST. Here we go. It all ends here. All ends here. I know it's getting a little bit late in Korea. But Creator, he's snacking. Getting energy. Getting ready. Likewise, Reynor just getting the hood up a little bit more. Embracing the darkness, embracing the smudge. Gaining more power. Let's go. And here we go. We're getting into our next game, into the final game of this best of 3 series, and spawning in the bottom left-hand corner of Royal Blood, we have the Italian Zerg player representing Team Basilisk. It is Reynor. Tying up the series 1-1 in the last game. And spawning in the top right, we have his opponent. We have the South Korean Protoss player representing Club NV. It is Creator. We've had a pretty intense couple of games already. Reynor kind of being the defender for a lot of them. Of course, counterattacking and trying to turn the tables on Creator, but yeah, he's been having a hard time keeping up here with what Creator is bringing out. In game 1, there was that really crisp Archon Immortal push, if you remember. In game 2, it came down to that big Glaive Adept Immortal timing as well. The follow-up all-in, basically, from Creator. Both of them had potential. Game 1, of course, did lots. Here in game 2, or back in game 2, Creator did kind of fumble the ball a little bit when it came to the execution of that all-in. And now we are here in game number 3. What do you got for us? We've seen a standard Stargate opener. We've seen 4-gate Glaive Adepts. We haven't seen DTs. We haven't seen a Robo opener. That would be wild. Not too sure if I would be fond of that. Like a Robo opener into Disruptors. I feel like that'd be a really risky move against a player like Reynor. Like, Reynor is a very fast player, so trying to rely on his inability to split against Disruptor shots is probably not the best idea. But we'll see. We shall see. For the time being, so far everything's looking normal. Hatch gas pool out of Reynor, forced to take the unnatural natural. Interesting here, we've been seeing a lot of European and Korean Zerg players embrace the 15 hatch and the 14 hatch, but today Reynor isn't going for that. We have seen Reynor do it before at Gamers 8 and even at Home Story, not quite at Home Story Cup, but in WTL Kung Fu Cups after Home Story Cup. But this series, Reynor, he is against it. He's against it. Meanwhile, Creator across the map going for a Twilight Council opener. So I assume that Creator would be returning to normalcy and go back to a standard playstyle. But we see that isn't the case. Twilight Council opener into a Robo. This is looking like a Glaive Adept opener once again. But he hasn't pulled out a gas. There's the second gateway. There's Glaives. And now he pulls out. Okay, so once again, this is looking like 4-gate Glaive Adept. Looking just like the opener he went for previously. Obviously, this time he doesn't have to commit to a follow-up Immortal all-in. It's possible, though, that maybe Creator feels like he... Oh my god. I was going to say, it's possible that maybe Creator feels like he could try and do better, and maybe he can execute it in a more stronger fashion when it comes to preserving those Immortals, and maybe he can just do it again. For now, though, it is just going to be 4 Gate Glaive Adept. I was just very uncomfortable because it looked like more, because typically you have 2 gateways at the natural, but because it's Royal Blood, only one gateway, so 4 gates all up so far, just like game 2. Meanwhile, Reynor is going for a very early Roach Warren. This is a 3 minutes 50-ish Roach Warren timing, 3:40. So very early on, Reynor reading beautifully that it is, of course, going to be a Twilight Council opener. Back at home, we should be seeing some Spore Crawlers momentarily. We have a lot of Lings on the way. Cutting Workers at 39. There are those Spores, just in case it is a Dark Shrine and Dark Templar coming out. Here we go. The Adepts have arrived. Oh, not enough agent for Transfuse. But the Queen does not go down. Adepts are going to threaten the Shade. Force, again, reactions out of Reynor. Kind of transition do we have back at home? We are expanding, of course. It is only 4 Gate Glaive Adepts, so not very committed. There we go. We do have that 3rd. And Creator doesn't go for another Warp in. Not yet. No additional gateways either. Yeah, Adepts are racing back home. Lings likewise are racing them back home, and they're going to get on top of this Stalker, but we do have a Sentry for Force Fields. We do have a Sentry for Force Fields. Okay. As we have Adepts threatening the main base, but we do see Reynor defending, and he is transitioning in a more standard fashion. We have a Forge and Blink on the way. We're not racing into Immortal production like previously, so everything's looking pretty normal. Looks like Creator just wants to get into a standard game. Of course, there was potential for damage, but no real damage was done. Did force a reaction out of Reynor, did force him to be a little bit uncomfortable and not drone. But right now, Creator, he's just sharking around looking for some creep tumors. Looking to deny that creep. Ooh, Observer does go down. Creator a little bit careless, not really anticipating the Spore to be there. So very nicely done by Reynor. As the Lings are threatening the 3rd. And yeah, Creator is making his way back home. Lings, they do dive on in. They're going to get a surround on the shield battery. Really good pick off by Reynor. Bearing in mind, we are building up sentries back at home, which is not normal. It is not normal. We have +1 on the way, Blink alongside Immortal production already. This could be, especially with these additional 2 gateways, we could end up going towards like a 2 or 3 Immortal push with sentries, like very Soul Train-esque. We could end up going for a very committed ground push. For now, Adepts are going to be keeping those Lings at bay. We'll see if Creator doubles down as he's delaying the production of his 3rd Immortal. But there's no Templar Archives, there's no 4th base either. I do think that we do intend to go for one big push. +1 is about to kick in. Reynor on the other side has successfully saturated 3 bases. He's on 66 workers, a really good worker count. That's all he needs. From this point, he can make nothing but Lingbane Roach Ravager. Oh, but he's droning up a little bit more. To be fair, he's not going to be punished. We have more tech. We have the Robo Bay and a 2nd Robotics facility. So Creator is looking to expand. He's looking to eventually take a 4th. He's not pushing. Or is he? He's got Adepts on the left-hand side. He's got Stalkers pushing through the middle. Through the center, sorry. But the Immortals are staying at home. Oh, Adepts are being called out. 3, 4 Adepts go down. At the same time, Lings are here to deny the 4th base. Probe is up. Is going to get picked off. Creator just having a hard time keeping up, but yeah, clearly Creator, he's just turtling up back at home. Trying to be more defensive. I say trying because he has been struggling to get his fourth. Lynx have arrived. They're getting surrounded on the Adepts. Oh, not the best positioning here for Creator. Yeah, fourth is going to be denied for a second time. The longer this goes on, the better it is for Reynor. He's about to max. He's about to max out, and Creator desperately needs another base. Or just double down and go for an all-in. That's a Colossi had been revealed. God, that's a lot of Banelings. This is becoming very similar to how Game 2 ended, where Reynor, he just massed a massive amount of Banelings. He collapsed on the, I think it was the third base at the time. And Creator couldn't really do anything about it. As we see Creator looking to expand over towards the left-hand side instead. Interesting. Hopefully he'll have a better time. But again, this is a very late fourth base, and Reynor has maxed. There are no disruptors to worry about. Only Colossi. As the Stalkers move out, the Lynx do come in for a big counterattack. Or they threaten a counterattack. Just confirming that a fourth base hasn't been taken. He's even going to be taking the center fourth. Oh, and here we go. Reynor is setting up for a surround. Up. Force fields are thrown down. Banelings are going to be denied. Oh, God. But the Banelings, they're getting in anyway. They connect with the Stalkers. The Immortals go down to the Vials. But the Colossus stand strong. All three Colossus do survive. Creator, he is breaking through. He's pushing through the defenses here of Reynor. But the Lynx, they come in first around. We're the juggling. Can we juggle? Up. Oof. First Colossus fell. The other two are barely staying alive. Again, the Prism was just barely out of position. And Creator, he's trading quite efficiently here, but the Colossus, they do fly too close to the sun. One of them goes down. There's only one remaining. And Creator, he can kill this base, but the workers will survive. Up. As Creator's able to snipe a couple of those Ravagers in the retreat. What I mean by that, the drones are going to be able to rotate around towards a fresh mining base here on the right-hand side. Reynor still maintains his 4-base economy. And Creator has to back off. He lost a lot of his high-tech units. He's only really saved his Stalkers. He needs more Colossi or Disruptors or Immortals or anything. He needs some Robo units, Bobby. He needs them. There we go. We have an Immortal on the way. Oof. This Creator does take a bow to the face. Reynor also gets eyes on the fourth of Creator. He was not aware of it. He didn't know. Likewise, Reynor is going to need another base. He's going to need a fifth. Building up his Lings. He has a Hive. Vipers have hit the field. And that means that even if we did have Disruptors or even more Colossi, Reynor has the answer to them with these two Vipers, gathering energy at the natural. And yeah, Creator, he's just getting a bit of everything. Immortals, Disruptors, Colossus. Does need it all. Oh, but Creator overextending, forced to recall. He gets surrounded. A lot of Stalkers go down, and Reynor, he has quite a little momentum. Cleans up even more here in the center of the map. As he is pushing on forward. Now, if we connect with a big Nova, we can defend. That's what the Vipers are for. Oh, they're coming in. They want the Colossus. Yeah, and they're going to get it. Disruptor and the Colossus go down. almost instantly. There's one Colossus left for the Baileys. They get into the middle line. They annihilate all those probes. But even though they do a lot of economic damage, what about the main army? I'm a little bit concerned that he's going to force a big all-in. Oh my god. Creator barely keeping that Colossus alive. Creator's going to clean up this army, and he needs to counterattack immediately. He has to go all in. It's now or never. Reynor is up 40 workers, but his army supply is pretty comparable to that of Creator. So Creator, he can take a fight. The Vipers, up! Both Vipers are going to go down. Fourth base as well from Creator is forfeits, but Creator doesn't care. He's going for the kill. He's going for the jugular. The Bailings are being morphed in over on the right-hand side, and they are going to be spotted here by Creator. We need the Colossus. Up, up. Colossus to arrive in time. Splits are looking decent here for Creator. The Baileys, they do nothing. Link's coming from behind, but we have the Prism. Up, juggle, juggle, papi, juggle. GG gets called, and there is just too much Protoss. Creator takes game number 3 and the series 2-1. GG. Oh my god. Creator popping off on cams. He was so all in. You could see him just a sigh of relief. He was so all in with that attack. It was all or nothing there. He found the Bailings. He found the Vipers. Got on top of the Ravagers. GG. Well played. Creator takes down Reynor. Ay. And that was close. That was honestly really damn close. But alas, a really solid win for Creator, especially in this group. It's a very cutthroat group. But Creator is looking good, looking strong. Reynor stumbling a little bit. And with that, we have one series left. One best of 3 remaining. We're going to be going on a short break. When we return, Firefly versus Clem. See you soon. See you soon.